friends, welcome back to another video on Selfish World TV. If you're new here, my name is Amy, and on this channel we talk about loving yourself, living your most authentic life, and everything else that supports that journey. I'd like to start this video by thanking our sponsor, Selfish World. And Selfish World is we have a website where you can get access to plenty of resources. So we have 30-day challenges, we have workbooks, we have ebooks, and then we have journal prompts to assist you on your self-love journey. So if you haven't already, I'd like to ask you to check the website out, because we probably have something that can support you on your self-love journey. If there is something that you would like us to add on to the website, please let us know in the comment section, or you can email us, and the email is plugged down below. And then we have good news. We just released a workbook that will help you fall in love with your life and with yourself. So if you would like to access that workbook, click the link below. It will redirect you, and then you will get the workbook downloaded to your email address, and then you can print it and start working on it. So yeah, the intent of the workbook is just to help you fall in love with yourself, fall in love with life, and just get the ball rolling on your self-love journey. So yeah, it's completely free, and I hope you enjoy it. And then I would just like to ask, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I'd like to ask you to do so, because it supports the channel, and then more and more people are able to view this content. And yeah, thank you. So yeah, let's get into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about how self-love can change your life, specifically the changes I saw in myself, and I wanted to bring it to you because I just want to let you know that it is possible. It is not out of reach, it is not too far, it is not a once in a lifetime thing that only select few get, but we can all get this. We can all be living our most authentic lives. So stay tuned. So the first thing that happened to me when I started my self-love journey is I stopped waiting for someone outside of myself to complete me, someone outside of myself to save me. I don't know if it's Disney movies or the romance novels that made me think that once someone came into my life, specifically in a relationship setting, once they came into my life, that they would unlock the key and open me up to like bliss, you know, like I'd just be overwhelmed with so much bliss, and I'd be enjoying my life, and you know, everything would change. And I realized, that's crazy. You know, like I have everything I need within me to achieve my goals. I have everything within me to feel whole and complete. I have the love that I want to receive. I can give myself that love, you know? And so when I started loving myself, I stopped looking for people to complete me or to make me happy or to make my life more colorful, but I started looking within, and I just asked myself, like, what do I need to do to make myself happy? What do I need to do to make myself enjoy my life more? What do I need to feel more secure? Like I keep putting the power on me, because I have the power to make decisions in my life. I have the power to change my life. So no one outside of myself can make me feel complete, because I am already complete, and no one outside of me can help me achieve, can, you know, propel my life, because the power is within me. Then the second thing that happened when I started loving myself is that I figured out my purpose. Because through loving myself, I was spending time by myself, I was doing things that I loved, I was understanding my strengths and my weaknesses, and then I understood what I came here to do. I understood what would fulfill my heart. I understood like what I needed to do. And once I understood that, I stopped waiting for permission to do it. Because another thing I noticed is that when I didn't love myself, it's like I waited for someone to tell me what I could do. And I remember specifically in high school, like I remember writing in my journal about all the things I wanted to do. And I would write about it all the time until my best friend got tired of me and this complaining on my journal. And she was just like, okay, so why don't you do it? And like she said it so simply, and I couldn't comprehend like what she meant. What do you mean? Why don't I just do it? I just can't. And so like even if when she told me that, like that same feeling of waiting for someone to tell me what I can and can't do carried on. Like, so for example, with starting a YouTube channel, I wanted to do it since 2014, but it's like I was waiting for someone to give me the permission slip to do it. With other areas of my life, it's like I was waiting for someone to just say like, oh, you know, you can do it, like you should do it. And so like when I started incorporating self-love, I just realized that I don't need to wait for permission. If something is fueling my fire, if something is going to bring me joy and excitement, I might as well do it. Joy and excitement without harming the people around me, because you know you gotta be mindful. The third thing that happened when I started my self-love journey is that I enjoyed my own company. I do. I'm just like, I am my own best friend. Like, if you see me laughing by myself, it is me and me having a good time. You know, like, I stopped dreading spending time alone or being alone, but I actually reveled in it because I know from spending time on my own, I feel rejuvenated. I feel refreshed. From spending time on my own, I get to do things that I need to do. It just, and I get to learn myself better, and I learn and understand who I am and my strengths and just who I need to. If you haven't already watched the video on solitude, I'm going to tag it up here or here, and you can just view it and enjoy it and learn how I learned to enjoy solitude. The fourth thing that happened, I started prioritizing my needs and mental well-being. So, in the form of self-care, I started practicing self-care. Now, before I actively started loving myself, consciously started loving myself. I say consciously because sometimes we go around life thinking that we love ourselves, but our actions do not reflect that we love ourselves. For example, overworking, you know, like until you're burnt out, or not taking the time to emotionally decompress when something happens to you. Such things like that. Not allowing yourself to take care of yourself, not loving yourself enough to take care of yourself because you feel like you have to be in a go state or just overly producing. And then the fifth thing that happened when I started self-love is consciously loving myself, is that I started expressing myself more. I started expressing myself in my ideas. I started expressing myself in the way that I spoke, in the ways that I dressed, and in the ways that I presented myself. Yeah, like when I love myself, I realize that I have so much to offer and who I am is enough. So I don't need to follow a blueprint of what has been considered great or what is popping in pop culture at the moment, but just being who I am and being comfortable in who I am and allowing myself to express that, allowing myself to express my thoughts and my ideas and just how I want to look in this world. Because I realize how you show up in this world plays a huge factor in your self-love journey. You know, like sometimes we think it doesn't really matter, especially when I got woke, when I was woke and I started thinking about like how physical appearances don't matter, how it's what's inside that matters. But then the more I leaned into my self-love muscle, the more I realized how important it is to me to express myself and to show up fully and authentically as who I am. So it wasn't more about, you know, like not caring, but just caring enough that I was expressing myself every day. You know, I wasn't repressing myself. So that's another thing that self-love did to me. Another thing that happened is I started having more compassion for myself. Now, in our society at the moment, it can feel like if you don't get things done, then you are failing. If you don't get things done, then you're probably lazy. If you don't get things done, then there's probably something wrong with you. I have experienced each and every one of these thoughts. But then when I lean into my self-love muscle, I just remind myself that it's okay. I don't have to get everything done in one day. I mean, like, have you seen this thing of like Beyonce has the same 24 hours that you do? And I just want to say, yeah, we have the same 24 hours, but Beyonce has a team of people to assist her in her work. Now, I am doing things solo. So like I can't compare myself to how Beyonce makes her productions. You know, like I can't put myself against that standard. Yes, I aim to have the, what is the word? The of Beyonce's work, but at the moment I am here and I can only do what I can do within the time that I am given. So it looks different for me, and I need to have more compassion for myself, because if I'm putting myself against the hard that whatever it's called, then I'm setting myself up for failure. I'm actually literally setting myself on fire, you know. And then another thing that changed is that I care less about what people think about me, because they don't pay my bills. Simply. But also, like, everyone is thinking about their lives. Like, if you actually genuinely think about it, fine, some people will pay attention to your life for like 5 seconds, but then after that they are more focused on themselves. So how can you base your life or what you do in your life because of what other people will think for 5 seconds? Like, let's think about it. Also, like, you have so much power within you. You have so much to give the world, and for it to be stopped based on what people will think about you, I think you're shooting yourself in the leg. Like, honestly, if you think about how much you have to offer, if you think about how much magic you're offering this world, how much value, how much whatever you're giving this world just for being you, and then you halt it because someone might think this about you, yo, like, we can't do this. Like, and then the thing is, this person will think this about you for 5 seconds, and if they extend it, then that person probably has an insecurity you've projected within them. But then that's not to say that you should live your life worried about what people will think, because honestly, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah. Another thing that self-love will do for you is that you get to be in more fulfilling relationships. When you take time to love yourself and appreciate who you are and fill your cup through self-care, then you are now approaching your relationships from a space of authenticity, a space from full and growth and expansion, rather than when you are contracting. And probably the reason why you need friends is just so that they can reassure you and hide your insecurities or make you feel better about yourself. But when you go into a relationship thinking about knowing who you are, what you have to offer, how great you are, your strengths, your weaknesses, then the relationship no longer becomes about validating each other's insecurities, but you're coming from a space of expansion because you have so much love to give, and you love to enjoy friendships, and you love this person's personality, and you love the two of you together. And so, like, you're coming together to do it. You know, like, your friendship is more expanded. It has more of an expansion thing. But like, when you are retracted, like, you don't love yourself, and then you're getting into a relationship because you need someone to love you, or you need to be validated or something, it contracts the relationship, and then the relationship does not blossom into what it's supposed to be, you know. Yeah. And then another thing that happens is that you get more confidence when you love yourself, because you know what you have to offer. You know who you are, you know your strengths, you know your weaknesses. That's my favorite line. But you know what you have to offer, and you just show up with your big chest. You show up and tell people, like, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer. And it's not in like an ego boisterous way, like, you know, I'm better than you, but you know, you recognize that you have a lot to offer, and so you won't hide in the back anymore, or you know, you won't whisper. You know, you will roar. You will come in with that Leo energy, you know, because you know who you are and what you're worth, and you respect and understand that everyone else has something to offer. It's not like you're looking at people like you're better than them. And the final thing that happened when I started incorporating more self-love into my life is my spiritual relationship with God changed. Just because like through loving myself, I understood the magnitude of love. Like I understood what it meant. And then that shifted my focus to understand what God loving me means. Like, because like when we grow up, we're just told, when we're growing up, we're told, God loves you, God loves you, God loves you. But do you understand the magnitude of what God loving you means? I mean, it means like God cares about your well-being and is always looking out for your highest and greatest good. And God is doing everything to ensure that you get to that highest and greatest good. All you need to do is just tap into that frequency and be living your highest and greatest good. So for me, like self-love, like, it has been the most rewarding thing about self-love, because like I don't feel alone. I don't feel like I'm going through life alone, like everyone is against me and I have to fight my battle. But I just understand that I am truly supported and protected and cared for, and like God just wants me to live my best life, like ideally that's what we came here to do. And so like even when I'm facing what we'd call a hardship, I know like it's not to beat me down or to destroy my spirit, but it is to make me a better person, to mold me into the person who is ready to accept and receive the blessings that are coming into my life. So yeah, that's the most rewarding thing about my self-love journey. Yeah, so we have come to the end of the video. Those are some of the things that happened to me when I started incorporating self-love in my life. And I just want to say, self-love is a journey. Please don't think it's like a thing you activate and it's done. I think we have so much programming that it would take some time for us to be fully stepping in our love for ourselves. So it's like a conscious decision over and over every day. Like, am I doing this out of love for myself, or am I doing it because I don't love myself, or am I doing it because I will receive love from someone else? Because it's like a continuous thing until like we can retrain our brain and our habits and our nervous system to know what we are doing out of love for ourselves and because we have love, and what we're doing because we want to receive love from someone else. Yeah. So thank you for staying till the end. I'd like to ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you felt like it resonated and you would like to see more videos, and share it with a friend, because I feel like we have a pretty awesome community here. Sorry, my tongue today has been slipping, but yeah, I will see you in my next video. Take care.